Okay, so we are live back on another episode of the Casual As podcast.
Live action.
How's the sleep going, mate? So since we recorded last time, it's actually been a few weeks since we recorded.
Couple of weeks,
so
yeah.
Kev's missus actually had Bubba.
I think on the first one we are talking about it, Mrs.
Yeah.
gave birth. Bit full on, bit of a wild
we
ride.
were talking about the whole Hugh
So
thing,
we talked about
but you didn't know what you were having.
the stupid name. Didn't know what we are gonna have, and ended up being a boy. So I stitched the poor little cunt up. Called him Hugh again. So he's got this Hugh Cruz. So he get called by his middle name Cruz. And then already it's fucking confusing already.
What people?
Same thing.
So what are you saying his name's?
We're saying his name.
Do you just say his name's Cruz?
Like we call him Cruz, everyone calls him Cruz, whatnot. But with official paperwork, like when we go to the doctor and that, it's Hugh.
Yeah.
So already I'm like, fucking
waiting
poor cunt.
for appointments, yelling out Hugh.
Yeah. So it's the same shit I went through, but we kept it going. Apparently, I checked with my old boy. He's the 11th.
He's your son or your dad's?
My son Hugh Cruz is the 11th Hugh.
Fuck yeah.
So I was the 10th. He's the 11th. So yeah, when I was younger, I was always like, end this shit now.
Yeah.
It's like you get a bit older, you get a bit more like some sort of tradition. So keeping that going.
He needs to have a son.
Yeah. So keep it going. But that's what I've been up to, trying to figure out the routine and all that sort of shit. A lot to learn, but it's wicked. I love it. It's awesome. So
all
good.
They do is sleep for the first few weeks anyway.
Fucking sleep, shit,
sleep
spew.
and look for a feed.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
You sort of feel a bit useless at first, eh? I did, like not having a set of tits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was just like focused on cleaning and doing all the other sort of stuff.
Yeah, just help out however you can, sort of thing, I suppose.
But the whole experience was amazing. They're tough as nails, man.
Yeah.
They're seriously so tough. It was pretty full on. Ours wasn't like the smoothest ride. It was a bit it's a bit hectic, a bit traumatic and whatnot, but it all come good now. And Mrs. couldn't get over. You can't stay at the hospital.
It's fucked, eh?
I know. Like the one time you should be with your missus.
It's so stupid.
The one time that you really should be with your missus.
So they go through this massive ordeal by himself pretty much. Like there's people in the room and obviously the medical team and stuff helping, but then you just got to leave them for the night.
Yeah, I know. It's a stitch up, man.
Even if you just sit on the chair or something, like just to support them.
I milked it as long as I could, and then obviously got told to leave or whatever. And then when I went home, it's like not like I could sleep anyway.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I was pumped up from adrenaline and so it was. Yeah, it's a bit ridiculous. I thought that was a bit ridiculous.
Yeah, that was stupid when we had ours as well. And then I went up there, because like you say, you weren't really sleeping. I went up there real early the next day. I think it was like 5:30 or 6. And they're like, oh, you actually can't come up till 7. Like, we'll let you in, but you're not supposed to be. I'm like, fucking hell, what a stitch up. Like, you go through this massive traumatic experience.
It is. It's pretty full on, yeah.
And then you got to just deal with it yourself. And they don't check. They just come and check, apparently, like every couple of hours.
Yep. They're troopers, but my missus, like for the first week, probably even longer, 2 weeks. It's been a couple of weeks now. I don't reckon she slept longer than 45 minutes or whatever it was. Yeah. You wouldn't believe it too. Like, that moment where you take them out and you're loading them up in the car for the first time. Yeah. We're doing that, trying to figure out the car seat and all that. It's pretty stressful, like a bit stressful. You're like, this little fucking live human. I got to take care of it. And then you wouldn't believe it. We were driving home, got a flat tyre.
Oh, no. Really?
Yeah, the old Corrigan. Like, I messaged my mate, said,
you wouldn't know how to change a spare either, would you?
Lucky I do. Otherwise I've been up shit's creek without a paddle. I messaged my mates because I was that one cunt back in the day when we went push bike riding that always got a flat tyre.
Oh, true. Yeah.
So I Snapchatted my mates and like, fucking Corrigan luck strikes again, bud. And then the nuts were done up so tight, bro. So I had to literally, I had pluggers on the side of the road off Nathan Street Bridge. Literally had my whole weight doing a little fucking stomp, but got it off eventually. Yeah, it took me 20 minutes. I put it back on, and I was just like, fuck. I was just straight up like, first test. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, first test.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been good, man. I love it. Yeah. It's awesome, mate. Wouldn't change for the world. I wish I did it earlier. Like on that other podcast, we're saying how we really recommend that people go traveling when they're young.
Yeah.
It's just the next level up from that. Yeah. Really recommend that you have kids.
Yeah, get all that shit out of the way, and then it's like you don't realize. For a lot of people, it's so hard to fall pregnant for a lot of people,
Took us a while,
because,
which is hectic. Like, I know a lot of mates that have gone through IVF and that.
Yeah.
It seems like it's becoming all too common, eh?
Yeah. So you sort of, once it does happen, you got such a profound appreciation for your missus and the process and like how lucky you are, I suppose.
Yep.
And then
you cherish it a bit more.
From now on, all you care about, like your number one priority is that. You don't
exactly. It's primary. Everything else is secondary after that, eh?
Literally like a flick of a switch.
It is, honestly, yeah.
You're not caring about anything else. It's just fucking that you want to spend every last minute of the day.
It's the number one
Unless
focus.
unless you're recording a podcast.
Yeah. Well, everything after that, the way I look at everything's a side quest. That's the number one primary mission now. You know, everything else is just secondary. But no, it's good. I love it. Keen for all the moments. I'm just trying to cherish it because I'm really, really keen for like when they're older to take them camping and that. But I don't want to let this time go.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I want to cherish them when they're tiny.
Yeah, they grow up quick. Like it's cliche, they grow up quick, and then you want them to be small again.
Yeah,
it's like when they're small, they're just laying there. Fucking can't do much with them. It's cool to play as much as you can, and then they get big so quick, and then it's like, oh, I wish they were small again.
Yeah, I know. We're loving it. He's deadly. He's a little fella. Just sleeping and shit and crying pretty much.
Yeah, that's all they fucking do, mate. Get used to it.
Yeah, well, I was telling you, like, he's a little ranger, little red rager. And when he came out, there was a heap of people in the room. I think there was like probably 8 people in the room or something. They were like, oh, his hair's so beautiful. He's so lovely. And I was thinking, fuck, when you're a baby, you get glorified for being a ranger. When you're an adult, you get roasted.
Yeah, it's cute. Wonder what age do you reckon
Where does it flip?
It stops being cute and you start being a little, you know?
Primary school, surely.
Yeah, probably like 7 or 8.
Yeah, as soon as kids see, look at this cunt, he looks weird.
Yeah, it's cute. And then it's like maybe start at primary school.
Reminds me of a funny story of one of the kids we used to work with, old Giant Trevelli.
Yeah.
The most ranger kid you'll ever imagine, pure ranger. And I remember him saying to the other kids, like, yeah, how'd your hair get so orange? And he's like, my mum was drinking bulk Fanta when she was pregnant.
Imagine if that was true, but that's how rangers become
the old Fanta trick.
What else would there be?
Fucking
like other soft drinks or something. No, like,
fucking.
Imagine if you drank too much fucking Coke.
Too much Pepsi.
What would you come out as?
Little black-haired baby.
There's nothing else really that could translate, is there?
True way. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, maybe like you drank a lot of milkshakes, you come out albino.
Milky Bar kid.
Oh, vanilla.
Man, when I was a kid, my hair was like literal white.
Yeah, yep.
And then it like got
just darkened. Well, that's funny you say that because I've been looking at the baby photos. My hair was same deal, like Snow White. Obviously turned into a ranger. This kid's hair's red already, so I think he's going to be a full blood nut.
He's gonna.
I'm like half blood nut. He's going to be a full one. Because on the missus side, there's ranger too. So I'm like,
true.
Fuck you, poor little bastard.
Yeah, you got it from both sides. I feel like being a redhead now though is probably cooler than being a redhead when we were going through school.
Because everything's so woke now.
It's a lot. It's good. Like a lot more people go on about that. Like the woke shit, this and that, but. It's great that so many people are acceptive.
The accepting part of it is good, definitely. Yeah. Yep, I agree with that.
Yeah, because I feel like kids now could, I don't know.
They're a bit more open to sort of that sort of...
a lot more accepting
marginalised people,
of a little redhead or and some different kid or kids with disability or something.
Yeah, that's true, definitely. No, it's been a wild experience. I'm keen to keep it happening. Yeah. What have you been up to, bro? Same?
No, I was looking up... you know, when people are from somewhere or stay like a group, sort of like collective noun for people, I suppose.
Mob.
Yeah. It's called demonyms.
Demonyms. Tongue twister.
Demonyms.
What are demonyms?
Demonyms. So, you know, so people from Townsville, right? They're called Townsvillians.
Yeah.
So I guess Townsvillians is the demonym for people from Townsville.
So what, demonyms are just everywhere?
Yeah, pretty much.
What, just a mob of people?
Yeah.
So like how there's a murder of crows.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like a collective noun.
I thought you were talking... I thought it sounds like the Demonyms. It sounds like a group of Eminem fanboys. We're the Demonyms.
Demonyms.
Yeah, I don't know. Really? So that's the term for a human. For a group of humans.
Yeah. For a group of humans from a particular place. So I was researching, as great podcasters do.
Doing your homework.
Yeah. And I've got a few here.
Oh, a little quiz. Little hoopers quiz, eh? Look at it.
Let's see. We'll start easy. What are people from Melbourne called?
Melbournians.
Melbournians.
Melbourne.
What about people from the Philippines?
Filipinos.
Get a bit harder. People from Spain.
Spaniards,
yes. What about people from Poland?
Polish?
No.
Poles. Big Pole in you. You had a few Poles?
They're called Poles, yes. What about Venice?
Venezuela. No, that's a tricky one.
They're getting a bit harder now.
Venetian,
yeah.
Venetian.
Like Venetian blinds, you know?
Ah, yeah. There you go.
I'm guessing that's where they come from. Venetian blinds.
Automatically think Venezuelan, but no, that's the side of the planet.
What about Newcastle? Or Newcastle? Do you say Newcastle or Newcastle?
I say Newcastle, like Newcastle Knights. That's the only time I ever say Newcastle.
I think I used to say like like Newcastle and Castletown, like Castletown.
You say Castle?
Castle Hill, but I don't anymore.
I'll say Castletown.
Yeah, like Castletown. I don't know. I'm pretty sure, like,
Castletown?
as a kid, I used to say Castletown.
Fuck him. Yeah, right. Well,
because you say
Newcastle. What are they? Fuck, what are they called then?
They're called Novocastrians.
Novocastrians.
You have heard that before?
Yeah, I feel like I have. Yeah, but I wouldn't connect the dots.
Yeah. I think there's some like Latin thing. Nova means new.
Yeah.
And Castrian is castle.
There you go.
So.
Fuck, I never would have got that one.
Fuck, I was gonna say something. Then what was it? I don't know. Too busy focusing on fucking Novocastrians. All right. What about people from Glasgow?
Glasgowians. Glasgow.
This, if you get this, then I'll give you $5.
Oh fuck! Now you put me on the spot.
Gilly told me this one.
Really?
From work. Yeah.
Glasgow. Fucks me.
Glaswegians.
Glaswegians. There you go.
Glaswegians. Yeah. And last one. What do you call people from Hamburg in Germany?
Surely not hamburgers.
Hamburgers. Dead set. They're called hamburgers.
Oh, Big Mac on the breast. Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome, bud. That's the best out of the lot.
Yeah, Hamburg, Germany.
Fucking
people, if you ever meet someone from there, they're a hamburger.
Be a big hamburger.
Extra fucking pickles.
Extra cheese
you
hamburger.
Like pickles? Pickles on your hamburger?
Yeah, love it, bro. I never used to when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Was fully off it, but one of those things, you know, when you get older, your taste just changes certain things. Now I rate it.
I reckon there's things too that I used to eat as a kid that I don't eat now.
Did the old switcheroo, really?
Like olives. I used to just eat olives out of the jar.
Actually, I used to eat fucking some stupid shit as a teenager. I used to eat mayo and cheese. I just cut off a slice of cheese and put mayo on it, eat it.
Oh, not on a sandwich or
no, nothing, just straight up. When I don't do that now. You know what I mean? Like shit just changes, eh? It's like some of the like avocado when you're a kid is fucking rank.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't even really remember avocados as a kid. They just come out. They just fucking come out of the woodworks. I'm gonna say honestly.
They just got popular whenever.
Do you remember
avocados? Fitness journeys.
Do you remember them as a kid?
My parents don't eat avocados.
No, because they're too expensive.
Yeah. They'd be more expensive now, and people froth them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Hey?
Big G up.
Avocado is good,
They are alright. Yeah.
Just a place. How simple breakfast avo on toast with some fucking salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper must do. You need like the salt and pepper just levels it up hard. Yeah. Definitely.
Anyway,
right, a bit of shit talk. What else we got?
Got a few golf days. Hey. Do you hear that through the headphones?
Yeah.
Oh, just my big guard dog. Got a few golf days coming up and stuff. So trying to get good at golf in 2 months.
Fuck yeah.
Go from shit to good in 2 months. But playing a bit of golf, going to the gym, ice bath, sauna this morning.
Fuck yeah, man. What do you do? What do you do with the ice bath scenario? You hop in the sauna first, or straight in the ice bath, then sauna after?
Like this morning did sauna first and then ice bath.
Yeah. How long you do that? You set a timer or just whatever you just jump in and wing it?
I feel like, sort of. Especially the sauna. I don't know. I never set the sauna for a specific
when you're
time.
in an ice bath, do you do like the breathing or anything, or you just tank it? Because I went to that Strand Fitness and I set a 10-minute timer and I hopped in. And it's hard, man. I just did the breathing, obviously, like the Wim Hof deep breathing. Yeah. And there was a few other people in the ice bath, and they were just looking at me like I was a fuck yeah. And I was just like, fuck this, but it helps. It helps.
I feel like that's when it's so popular now. Hey?
Yeah, it is.
Like it is really good for you.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of people do it because it's just become a popular,
it's become like a scene
cool,
sort of thing.
popular sort of thing to do, you know.
True.
But I love it, man.
Like any health kick.
Yeah.
Sort of people sort of follow for.
But I'll do.
Yeah, it's good for you. It is.
10 minutes in the ice bath, then just. If there's anyone good to chat to in the sauna, I'll stay in there a bit longer.
Yeah.
But usually like 25 minutes or so, then do another 5 or 10 to finish off with.
Oh, what, you go back and forth?
Bath, yeah,
true.
I
noticed that it's real good in North Queensland heat, because first time I did it, ages ago, I did it for my mate, and his, they had like a freezer, like a deep freezer that just had water in it, and it set at 2 or 3 degrees or something. We did 10 minutes. It was in the middle of the summer and hopped out.
You stay cold for
the next
ages
hour or two.
after,
I was still cold in the middle of the heat.
Yeah. So on my days off, I've been doing it during the day. Then I'll come home and have a nap.
Yeah, yep.
Like just put the fan on, like no aircon or nothing, and you have the best sleep.
Yeah.
Just because you're so relaxed
still fresh.
And so cold afterwards.
I had a mate who reckons he did it, and it like he broke his foot. However long ago, he reckons he could just feel his foot aching.
Yeah,
so it must have been like focusing on your injuries or something. I don't know. Yeah,
yeah. I guess it targets the inflamed areas.
Yeah, yeah.
You hear so many different things though, and people, you know, you hear people in the ice bath or in the sauna talking about all the research they've done in it and this and that, acting like they're experts. I just do what makes me feel good.
Yeah, people overlook shit like that.
Like, but you shouldn't do it if you just come from lifting weights. You shouldn't be in the ice bath because it's not good. I'm like, I just fucking
Just do whatever feels good.
I'll just do it because it makes my body feel good.
I like the Wim Hof breathing. It's fucking awesome. I like it. It puts you in like a meditative state.
Yeah.
You just do that, and at the end of it, it's like you just instantly chill.
Yeah.
It's weird how it does that.
Yeah.
It's fucking how he come up with that shit, man.
Yeah, I know.
He's a legend.
Crazy,
eh? Absolute legend.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember seeing his stuff a few years back now, and yeah, just unbelievable some of the feats that he's done, and they literally can't explain
how he doesn't get hypothermia and that.
Can't explain.
Guinness Book of World
stuff.
Records, they put all that shit on it, all of like the trackers and that, and
But yeah, I feel like after that, I've probably heard about him. Yeah, I reckon 6 or 7 years ago, and probably since then, I feel it's gotten a lot more popular.
He's blown right up. Yeah,
I was actually gonna go to one of his. He does them retreats and stuff over in. Where's he? He's Dutch. I don't think he does them there though.
Oh, is he Dutch?
Yeah,
he
doesn't do them in the. He doesn't do them in the Netherlands though.
Yep.
I don't think he does it there. He does it somewhere else though. And I actually looked into it, and I was gonna book it, but they didn't have one at the time I was there. And I wanted to do the winter one to get the full experience because he does some during the summer as well, which is when I was over in Europe.
Be experience.
Yeah, but it probably, I don't know. I just felt like you got to get the full experience. Go when it's proper cold.
Yep, definitely.
And but yeah, never ended up doing it. But be fucking cool.
Makes you think how he come up with that shit. Like, how do you even come up with breathing like that?
Yeah,
like,
I know.
What do you like? What are you having a panic attack or something?
What was the first day? Yeah, the first day where you thought, I'll just fucking
I think
take my clothes off and jump in this cold creek, or
because I think it does come I think a lot of Tibetan monks do the breathing techniques. So I don't know if something comes from there or how it works. But
I don't know. I remember seeing Hickson Gracie. Have you seen his documentary?
No, I remember you talking about it a while back. So I actually didn't even know who he was until you brought him up. And like,
everyone
he was
knows,
a tough fighter. He was like the best out of them all.
Everyone knows Hoist because of the first UFC or first few
four
UFCs.
Of them, I think he won the first 3 or 4. Yeah,
pretty much
dominated,
popularized
BJJ,
or brought jiu-jitsu to the mainstream, I suppose, with competing in the UFC. But Hickson was the pick of the family. So apparently they must only have boys, that family, because there's like 20 of them, I think.
Well, that's crazy.
And they're all killers.
Yep.
But everyone says that Hickson was the best.
Because he was bigger too.
Yeah.
And that was back when there was open weights.
So that's why they didn't put him in the UFC, because he was physically strong.
So they wanted to prove
that some skinny little cunt like Hoist could...
So interesting, like the first UFCs just like broke the Hollywood mold of like Karate Kid, big tank people.
Yeah, all these...
the best at defending themselves.
Kung fu guys and karate guys coming in.
Yeah.
200 fights they've never lost.
Yep.
They were literally saying that for people's records. They've had 200, 300 fights. They've never been beaten.
Yep.
And they come in and they're hopeless.
Yeah, literally hopeless. There's some wild... Remember the old man who wore the one glove?
Yeah, yeah.
Was he a boxer or something?
I forget his name.
And I remember
because he was actually a highly ranked boxer. He was meant to... I think he did fight Tommy Hearns or someone like that. Okay. You know them guys around that era?
Yep.
Like he was... I don't know if he was world champ level, but he was sort of that, just a step below. But yeah, people didn't know what to do. They just fucking...
Yeah, there was a whole nother era, and there was like only one open round, no rounds, nothing. I remember that first one, that big sort of fat black fella versus that Netherlands guy.
Yeah.
He's like a Netherlands kickboxer, and I think he kicked... Old mate fell to the ground, he just kicked him in the face.
Yeah, no, that was a big Hawaiian dude.
Was it? Hawaiian fella?
Massive Hawaiian guy.
Oh, sumo background or wrestling background or something?
Yeah.
Old mate just kicked him.
But yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, I remember being in grade 8, and my teacher was real into it, and we thought, this guy's weird. How can he watch this stuff?
Yeah.
And it wasn't like I watched it. I looked it up and watched a bit of it and stuff, and it wasn't until a few years later I started actually watching it though, probably because I thought it was a bit too crazy.
A bit different to
start with.
Some people still do think it's like that. Yeah. I
remember, what was I saying?
We used to hire out DVDs. Video.
Oh yeah, but Hickson in that documentary.
Yeah.
Sorry, I fucking got off track again.
On track.
He used to do that, sit in these streams of water and do this crazy breathing with his belly and stuff, and like this circular breathing.
Wonder why they should have put him in the UFC, man. Imagine how much he would have dominated.
Yeah, they wanted to prove that some skinny
could dominate. We used to hire out we used to go to Video 2000 and hire out the UFC DVDs.
Yeah.
Or it was on Fuel TV for a bit, and then we used to go hire them out and actually just watch them.
It was so hard to get a hold of though, back then.
Yeah, it was,
when it first come out.
Because it wasn't that big. But because the first however many UFCs, I ended up going back and watching them. I didn't discover them. My first era that I got into it was like obviously like the Chuck Liddell sort of era. My favorite fighter back then was Lyoto Machida.
Oh yeah.
He's still actually one of my favorite. Like he was a legend.
Proper
man.
karate
Yeah,
guy.
Karate Kid.
And that's the thing, like we were saying, in them early ones, it was weird that the one discipline guys sort of got found out.
Yeah.
But then as everyone got more rounded, more well-rounded guys like Lyoto, Wonderboy Thompson and stuff, they're very heavy aspect karate or Kyokushin or whatever their discipline is, but they got good at everything else as well. And then it sort of went back and it's like, oh, well, karate guys can be efficient, I suppose, or they can be good, but you just need to learn other stuff. You can't.
You need to be well-rounded. I watched this documentary on the UFC or whatever a while ago. It was on YouTube. It was one of the best documentaries I've seen on it. And they were talking about, I think it was a couple of years ago, and the dude who was narrating it and brought it out was saying that all of the champions at the time, out of however many, say 10 of them, I think like 7 of them or 6 of them had a wrestling background.
Yeah, right.
And for the first UFCs, when they were filling out the paperwork, you had to state your background, and people had to tick other and write wrestling.
Oh, really?
Wrestling, like American wrestling, wasn't even regarded. And now it's like one of the fundamentals.
Yeah, right.
It's one of the strong bases that you need.
Yeah, I suppose because wrestling was probably maybe considered more a sport than a martial art, you reckon?
I reckon, I don't know. I feel like maybe it was like demonized from WWE. Maybe people just thought it was more of a phony thing.
Yeah.
Because I always grew up thinking wrestling was phony, even like the Olympic wrestling.
Yeah.
Because it's not really a thing here in Australia.
Yeah.
You know, we don't really have
you don't have that
people
school.
Don't do it at school.
Because that's the thing in America.
And that's why it's so big.
Goes through school, college, and it's like part of their fucking.
It is
growing
part of
up, I suppose.
Like we have rugby league.
Is it in their curriculum and stuff?
I say so. Yeah, like we have like the rugby league and athletics and cricket and shit. Yeah, that's one of their sports. Wrestling. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's nuts. Say that like
self-defense too, man.
Yeah.
No, that was cool. Cool era.
What about what was their fights? There was fights. I haven't watched any of the UFC.
Man, that
while,
UFC 300.
Kev Frost's on the UFC.
Yeah, I'm a UFC fucking fiend. But yeah, it's probably my number one sport. That and rugby league, I love it. But yeah, that UFC 300 was one of the best cards I've seen, man. It was fucking epic.
Fight of the year?
Yeah, fight of the year, bud.
So every week, every single week at work, Kev used to come in, oh, bud, did you watch the fights on the weekend? Yeah, fight of the year. And then next week, another fight happened. Oh, yeah, bud, that was fight of the year.
I reckon I said it twice, and then Irvin's like, but you say that all the
time. Nah, every week, but you'd come in.
Yeah, but it did have one of the fights of the year. Max Holloway, Justin Gaethje, bro.
Yeah, I seen the highlights of that. Yeah,
fight of the year, for sure, cunt.
Fight of the year.
Oh, fucking Holloway, just giving it all at the end. You know how many points to the mat? Did that. Like, he could have just easily...
But everyone reckons he was ahead, eh?
He would have won. Because he... I was a bit controversial. He poked Gaethje twice in the eye, fucked him up, but he did like a spinning kick at the end of the round of the first round and busted Gaethje's nose. It was a downfall from then on, and he just looked too good, man. He looked bigger and stronger. Yeah, he looked awesome. Like when he came up to lightweight ages ago against Dustin Poirier, he looked like he didn't have as much power. Yeah. This time he looked awesome, and right at the end he could have just played it safe, backed away. Yeah. But he like did the classic point to the ground and just then he fucking caught him.
No, he's fucking. Unreal. He just loves fighting. That guy.
He's a legend, bud. Love him.
You can tell he
Absolute
loves fighting.
Hawaiian legend.
Yeah. Any other sport you want to touch on? Cows been man. Disappointing.
Yeah, that was disappointing.
But hopefully they can turn around. Like at the start of the season, they showed great form.
Oh man, straight up, their attacking they're still like statistically one of the best better teams at attacking. So it's just the defense.
They just need to get back to that energy from the first few rounds, I suppose.
Old Todd Payton's getting roasted for not changing up the team and whatnot. Yeah, which is, I think just
I don't know. You can only blame the. I was gonna say the ref. Which that too. You can only blame the refs so much because people get a bit caught up with that, I suppose.
But I might be biased. But the refereeing is always fucked.
But you can only blame the coach so much.
I know.
The players got a bloody...
Definitely.
But
I just wish we had a team full of Tommy Deardens because he's probably the one person who's given it A for effort.
He's just so competitive. Literally. You can tell his competitiveness.
Never gives up. He's got that Jonathan Thurston mentality. Yeah. Just always, all in all.
Just on all the time. Any loose ball, any fucking half a break, he's there chasing.
In defence, he's pretty solid too. He's one of the better in defence.
Yeah. Tommy Dearden's a legend.
Yeah, and Felty's been good in defence. People roast him, but he's been wicked in defence.
He's been still scoring his tries and stuff.
Legend.
I heard some funny thing though the other day as well. Staying on sport. I don't want to talk too much about sport because I haven't been watching much lately, and we're not a sports podcast.
Yeah.
But on the news the other day, I seen 23 Chinese swimmers got done for performance enhancing drugs.
You're kidding me.
I'm thinking
23.
But I'm thinking that's pretty obvious. If Chinese people are fucking winning races, of course they're on performance enhancers.
Not much fucking
like you don't even have to test them. If they're setting world records, I've
Yeah.
seen some relay team set a world record and all these other people cleaning up all these medals. Of course.
Yeah, man.
Since when have Chinese people been good at swimming?
Yeah, exactly. At least, that's ridiculous.
They're the only ones that fucking you see at Bondi Rescue.
Them and the Indians, eh? Oh, that's funny, eh? That's fucked up.
I was thinking of this funny story the other day, so I'll ask you a question and then see if I can go on to the story after. But you know when you've had a big night out and it's either on the way home or even a hangover feed, what is your go-to meal or feed that you like to?
Oh, go-to meal. That's a bit of a okay, righto. What do we? Back in the day when we were younger, it was Flinders Street. Everyone would go to pizza, but it was shit.
Yeah, that
know what I
pizza was trash.
You just eat it out of convenience.
I had a few mates
definitely
that
not the
froth
pizza.
that fucking. They'd go get butter chicken off.
Oh,
that
I've done that too.
That's
but
a bit of a weird feed to
it's
have.
not my thing.
When you got a gut full of grog, who wants to eat fucking?
Oh, sometimes lately I've been
Indian.
going the snack pack because they have that kebab thing there, good old
Yeah.
snack pack. But then you can't beat a good old double quarter pounder, like a big grease burger. But the one thing out of all of them for me would be out in Big Charlie's Towers, the Roadhouse. They do chips and gravy.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like a classic, fucking servo chips and
Yeah.
gravy.
Extra chicken salt.
Extra chicken like that. But yeah, like fucking probably that. Probably
Chips and gravy.
Chips and gravy from the Roadhouse.
I do love a kebab. I
Yeah.
reckon.
Yep. But the only thing is, I feel like if you eat anything with onion, the next morning you wake up
Yeah,
and it's just
true.
like a bit fucking,
Yeah.
bit gassed up.
Yeah. The next day, I don't like to have a heavy meal. I'll try have a big feed
Yep.
on the way home, drink a
then-
shitload of water. But the next day, I usually, I don't know, I
Eat fuck all.
either don't eat anything
What
because
the-
I'll spew
really?
my cunt up,
Dude, fuck.
or I'll have something light, like just a little nice chicken sandwich or something.
I feel like when I was younger, I ate fuck all the next day, like one meal or something. But
Yeah.
now that I'm older, like the last 5, I don't know, probably even longer years, the next day I feel like I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Like I'm
righto.
eating heaps.
Yeah.
And I eat lots.
Yeah.
And it's always like something. The fucking, what used to always get me was when I was like younger and drinking a bit on Saturday night, partying up and that is, I don't think they do it anymore. It's not KFC. It's when you're watching the Sunday footy,
Yeah.
you know, the try and the no try.
Oh,
The KFC
yeah.
ad would come out and they'd slap
yeah.
the hand away going for the chicken.
Yeah.
That would always get me. Like the 4 o'clock game,
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, just
Well, I
seeing
feel
the
like that's
KFC.
a lot of people's
Yeah.
hangover feed,
It is, it's gotta
KFC,
be.
but
Yeah.
I'll eat that and fucking feel sick.
It buckles
So,
you. Yeah.
the next day I could eat that on the way home.
Well, what's your
I
go?
reckon.
What's your go home then on the way home?
Probably kebab. I love a kebab.
Kebab.
Or just, get Macca's. Get a
Yeah.
Fat quarter pounder.
Fuck yeah.
Quarter pounder with an extra chicken burger.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck. When I was traveling to America, we lived off Macca's because it was so cheap,
Yeah.
and it was just always like back then the Macca's had Wi-Fi, so we'd pull into
Yeah.
the car park and get on our fucking laptop and fucking get on the Wi-Fi to send emails
Yeah.
and shit and check out stuff. But we
Are
used
the
to,
meals
we used to
like
get
way bigger and shit like people say? Or?
way bigger, man.
Yeah.
And you get the soup like the large is much bigger. It's cheaper. Like they had a deal when I was there. It was like 99-cent Big Macs or something.
Fuck.
Yeah, they had a deal that was weird.
'Cause even Aussie dollars, that would be like, what, $2 or something?
Yeah, even now it'd be more. Yeah, but
Fuck.
they had a deal there. It was like 99-cent Big Macs, and then they had like a dollar loose change menu where you get
Oh, yeah.
dollar large fries, and then you can get a dollar large Coke. So you're getting a meal for $3. But if
Yeah,
you got
yeah.
3 things on the dollar menu, you can get a 4 for free. So then you get an ice cream. So we're just living off that. It was like pretty much like a Big Mac meal
Yeah.
with an ice cream for $3.
Supersize me.
But they also has
Remember that? Where he
proper-
ate at every meal?
Oh, you reckon you could do that?
What was it for, a month or
I think it was
something?
for a month, and he ended up by the end of it, he ended up liking it. He ended
Yeah.
up getting addicted to it or something.
Every single meal, maybe
Yeah.
not.
Yeah,
Even
I
once a day would be hard. But
But
he was going there literally 3 times a day, wasn't he?
Fuck you up, man.
That,
Honestly,
I reckon that's probably one of the first documentaries I ever watched.
that in high school, what was that other one? Like the Fahrenheit 9/11 or some shit. We went to watch that in high school.
yeah.
The Mike,
Yeah.
what was his name? Michael Moore or something. Michael Moore, that's him.
Okay.
He used to bring out all them sort of documentaries
Right.
criticizing America's sort of government
Yeah, righto.
and some decisions. But going back in America, they had this thing where you get a McChicken burger and you get a McDouble, and you pull the McDouble apart and put the
it
McChicken
on
in
top.
between it.
Oh,
So then
yeah.
it's like bread, meat, bread, chicken, bread, meat, bread. You eat that, and they used to be you asked for. They used to be called a McGangbang. It wasn't on the menu,
Yeah,
but if you
yeah.
asked
But
for
they knew what it was.
if you said because when we were traveling around, we went to some of those motocross events, and the locals were just talking to them. They're like, "Yeah, you gotta ask for the McGangbang." And I was like, "Nah, fuck off, you're having me
What
on."
states are these in, like the motocross events?
Well, the motocross we went to 2 over there, and one was in they were so redneck. They're the most
That's what I'm picturing, like
Ah.
real bogan
most redneck
trailer,
people.
like
Yeah,
trailer park
proper.
people and
but they
stuff.
were literally probably some of the friendliest people I've come across in all my
Yeah,
travels. They were
yeah.
legends. But what was it? Pennsylvania maybe, and Virginia or West Virginia. I think one of them was in there, and they were redneck.
What was the
Proper
you would have
redneck.
fit in, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
Didn't you
fuck it
become
up.
friends? What was the thing you stole a chicken?
Oh yeah, stole a chicken. Yeah. That's it.
Stole some cunt's
With
chicken.
that's a bit of a long story, but that's I'll try and highlight it. I'll try and abbreviate it. Basically, we went to the first motocross event, which was like it's called High Point, and it's like just I wasn't really into like I like riding motorbikes and that, but the mate I travelled with, he loved motorbikes.
Yeah.
So we went
It's
to
one
that.
thing to ride motorbikes around the bush and stuff, but to actually follow the sport,
The
if you
track.
call it that.
Yeah,
you know,
well,
like
my mate used
people
to-
who compete, that's a bit
My mate, he
different,
used to
eh?
race. He loved it. He
Oh,
crashed.
yeah.
He crashed out in Woodstock and was like on life support and shit.
Fuck.
He's only got one lung now and that,
True.
but he still lives over in Canada. He's a legend, and he ended up meeting a missus over there and
Yeah,
sort of lives over, bought a house and everything over there.
Good on him.
But so he organised it. Let's go to these motocross events. So we went to High Point. It turns out when I was rocking up the first day to High Point, I had these hives all over me, like this fucking weird thing. So I went to the pharmacist and bought the shit you can buy over the counter over there is fucked up. Man. I bought these pills. I showed them and they're like, oh yeah, take these. They're like, no alcohol on them, whatever. So we went back to the camp, and those motocross events are just like they're like festivals, man. You just camp up, drink
So
up
no
the whole
alcohol
time.
wasn't happening.
So I laid down. I remember I just had a kip in me. I took them, and then they're kind of like Finnegan, but fucking on steroids, like so much stronger. So I was crashed out, and then I woke up to a car just beeping its horn loud. I was and I look over, and there was like one of them Hummer H2 parked right next to our car, like full redneck, the Confederation flag coming off it and everything. And I was like, what the fuck's going on here? Like all discombobulated. And my Aussie mate stuck his head out and he's like, grab some beers and jump in, cunt. It's like, holy fuck. So I grabbed some beers with these rednecks. They're fucking legends, man. Just taking us around.
Yeah.
I feel like they were showing off a bit to show off to us Aussies.
Yeah.
One of them's like, I'll try to get you into the pro pits. So we go up to the pro pits and you can't get in there if you're a spectator. Yeah. And he's just sweet talking the ladies like, sorry, darling.
So were they just spectators as well?
They were spectators as well,
right.
yeah. They were like, I think he was like a Marine or something. He was all cashed up.
Yeah.
And he got us in. He let us in, which is crazy. And we went up and seen Chad Reed's like sort of bus, and he had all his bikes there. And they were so accommodating. This redneck was like, yo, Chad, like trying to get him to come out and that. And then Chad Reed come out. And my mate was frothing because he's like riding a motocross, and we got a photo with him looking at his bikes and all that. But anyways, the whole weekend of that High Point, I just got spastic drunk because I was on the medication as well. And it's kind of like
2 beers and just be wrecked.
Oh, I don't know. Well, it's kind of like ashes, man. You drink all day,
Yeah,
all day. But I was just kind of out of it the whole weekend, like fucking, just a little munted. And then 2 weeks later, I think it was, or 1 week later, we went to another event, and it was called Red Bud, and that was awesome. That was wicked, man. Same deal, big party. All the rednecks were accommodating us. They were cooking us, like where we were camping, they were cooking us food. They were just so awesome. Wild too. Some of the wildest people I met. But they were all like, oh, Ryan Sipes, his name was. They're like, Ryan Sipes is he's in the spectator area, because when you camp at night, there's a spectator area and then the pro pits. And then we went over, and there was like this one dude. You could tell he was like the pro or whatever, because everyone was fanboying off him, getting photos on him. He was standing there like people playing beer pong, and he had like a fitted cap on, wearing backwards. Definition of like a motocross rider. And even my mate was frothing, like everyone's looking at him, like sort of lining up to talk to him and that. And then he looked over and he sort of locked eyes with me, and then he's like, "Yo, Australia, Aussie." And I was just thinking, fuck. Like, I was
claiming,
out.
eh?
He's claiming me, but I was like, oh, fuck, here we go. It felt pretty deadly, but and then I was like...
They thought he was a celebrity. He's fucking... he's fucking fanboying over you.
He's like, yo, do you remember me? You don't remember me, do you? And I was like, fuck, man, to be honest. He's like, you're at High Point? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, do you remember stealing the chicken with me?
With him?
Yeah. And I was like, I do vaguely remember stealing a chicken. I remember being with someone and walking over to an esky to try and get drinks at like 3 a.m. I opened up an esky from someone's camp, and there was a big roast chook. And I grabbed the roast chook and the beers, and we ran off and we were giggling. So he's like, yeah, you were in the pro pit area. Apparently I was in the pro area.
Just weaseled your way in.
Yeah, somehow I got in there and I was partying up with all these fucking pros and that, and I had no idea, man. I was just out of my head, like,
just making a cut of yourself. But they would have thought you were a legend.
Yeah, he did. He was like, "Yeah, you're crazy," like laughing and all that sort of shit. And my mate, he looked jealous. My mate was telling him, he's like, "This guy." It was a bit random, mate. I didn't even. And it wasn't until we were leaving, like on the Monday or whatever, I still didn't think much of it. And then my mate, he had like a motocross magazine in the van, and I was just reading, and I got to like the 4th page, and there was a big photo of him in there. It's like, this cunt, But they were wicked, man. Awesome. Very accommodating. After the Red Bud, we went and stayed at one of their properties. Like one of them were like, what are you doing after this? And we're like, I don't know, we're just going to Chicago. We're going to be in Chicago for that 4th of July, like the big celebration they have. And
fireworks and
shit. And he's like, oh, you can come and stay at ours. So we went and stayed at their property, man, and they were fucking rich. Yeah, and they had a little pontoon out in the lake.
Were they like same age as
They were
at
the same
time,
age. They were about the same age as us, yeah. But we went and stayed with them, and then they went to their friend's property, who put on they had like a little lake, and they had a pontoon, and old mate rode out. They had literally like fucking 10 grand worth of fireworks, like better fireworks than here down in the Strand.
Yeah.
They lit it off.
That's what I picture, when
cool.
you see them like them teenage American movies and stuff, and there's always them rich cunts who live on the lake and they got their own special access.
Cottage house. Yeah. Fucking. It was cool, but the rednecks are honestly some of the friendliest people I've met. They were absolute legends. But yeah.
You got claimed, eh? I remember one time there was this there was a free concert here, but it was actually pretty mad. They had some decent acts, but Stan Walker played, and afterwards, same thing. I ended up out the back somehow, and then he's talking to me. I'm talking to him probably 10 or 15 minutes, like just normal like this, and then he said something, and it clicked with me, and I'm like, oh, sorry, what? And he thought he knew me. He's like full claiming me. He's like, oh, you're mates with whoever it was.
Did you just
He's like, oh, you're mates with him. He's like, you play rugby, don't you? I said, nah.
Did you go with it?
No, I'm like, nah, you're thinking of something else after I'd just been talking to him for like 10 minutes.
Oh, fuck, should have just rolled with it.
Everyone's there trying to talk and stuff, and he's just full claiming.
Fuck, have you ever met anyone else that you've been disappointed by?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
you hear it heaps, eh?
Because I've met two people that have been super disappointed by. One was Bear Majera. We went over to the X Base for, I think he had a band
on Maggie Island.
Yeah, on Maggie Island. His band, like the CKY boys, formed another band. I can't remember what it's called. I forget what it's called. They fucking got kicked off the ferry. They jumped off the ferry, fucking going over there. Like they jumped off the ferry.
Like just being dickheads.
Yeah, being dickheads. I think they had to hire a boat or something to come back to the mainland or some shit. Yeah, we went to X Base. Me and my mate that I went with, we grew up loving sort of Jackass, CKY, all the skate and that. And he's only a short little fella, but he was off his head, just out of it.
Couldn't put up for him for 20 minutes on the boat ride.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's a short boat ride. Well, surely you'd say, pull your head in, cunt, we're nearly there.
He was just, it's like he was cracked out on something, man. I don't know what drugs he was on, but he was just fully out of it. It was just disappointing.
Yeah.
That was him one time. And then another time was at that Woodford Folk Festival. Me and the missus went down on that Woodford Folk Festival, down in like I think it's like down near Caloundra. No, Mullaney. It's up in the hinterland, sort of, the sunny coast. Beautiful, man. Wicked festival. Awesome. But we seen John Butler was performing there.
Oh, yeah.
John Butler, and we seen him just cruising along during the day, walking around, whatnot. And I looked up at me and was like, oh, that's John Butler. Yeah. Wicked. So we sort of get close to him, and I sort of eyeballing him. I wanted to sort of say good day and just, get to meet him. Just as we got like 2 meters out, another couple pulled in and started talking first. Yeah. And I was kind of like, I probably did come across a bit arrogant, but I sort of butted in a little bit and was like, oh, hey, man, just want to say you're a legend, absolutely love you, blah, blah, like put my hand out, shake his hand, and I was just going to keep going. Yeah. And he literally just mocked me. He literally like went, like did something like that, like a child. And then it worked, but it stunned me.
So it was a big let by you?
Full winked it. Full winked it. I full winked it. And then I looked at him, and then I was kind of like put off. I was like, is that John Butler? And I sort of walked off, and my missus was like, oh, sorry, he just really loves you. Like, and we kept on walking. But at the time, I was wearing like a cowboy shirt. Like, I would have looked pretty bogan and whatnot. And this is at a hippie festival. The couple that were talking to him were like full dreadlocks, hippies and that. Yeah. I got the feeling that after it, even my missus was really one of the most awesome, nicest person you'll ever meet. You'll never say anything about anyone. She was like, what an asshole. Oh, true. Yeah.
No, I don't think I have any of them experiences. It would be hard though. You think of like people who are famous or got a bit of a name, how many people would come up?
I know, it'd be so hard, man.
And a lot of people don't pick up on them. Like if they're having a feed or something.
Yeah, you don't go up.
People would just go up and but if you do it like that, you pick your time. Hey, look, I don't want to interrupt too much, but just want to say g'day, whatever.
Yep.
And if they're a dickhead, it's a big letdown. I've heard heap of stories like that, But
it'd be hard not to when people are sort of swarming you all the time.
Yeah.
But if you're not getting swarmed, we met that. I think I told you that story. We met Sam Worthington over in Hawaii.
Yeah,
and he was a legend. Yeah, absolutely the most down. Like we were on a pub crawl, walking from one pub to another, and old mate was like, Sheila was like, "Is that Sam Worthington?" We looked
just over cruising by himself.
He was just cruising along by himself, and I remember he had like them pull-on steel caps. The pull-on, not the lace-ups.
Oh yeah.
Pull on them, and he had
steel caps. He just finished doing work.
He was like helping out a mate or something. It was random. Like he had that like
between filming fucking
like
mad movies.
Wife beater singlet on and like a hoodie, and then we're just like, oh, you keen to come for a beer? And he's like, looks at his watch. Yeah, okay, come in. Had a drink. Was talking to everyone. I remember my mate was like,
you get him to shout or what? I would have been.
I think he did.
I would have been asking that cunt to shout everyone.
Bro, but it was funny because we planned on hiring a Jeep the next day, and we'd end up just traveling around Oahu and just camping up for the week. We just wung it, camped on beaches and shit. But when my mate was like, "Well, you want to come camping?"
Just really start pushing it.
Like, thought about the next day. Like, imagine fucking getting asked by some random cunt to come camping. This guy's fucking
it's one thing to go have a
rich.
couple of drinks at the pub with him, but fucking, you want to come stay with us?
And my mate was like, he was a legend, but he was down to earth. My mate was like, he's calling him something different. Oh, you're Tom Wellington instead of Sam Wellington or something. He's just trolling him. He's like, Tom, you're the shittest actor, eh, bud? Like, just roasting him. And then he was like, not as shit as them tattoos, bud. And like, pointing at my mate, like, he was down to earth bloke, proper legend,
What's your mate got shit tats?
Yeah, my mate's he had like a naked chick tattooed on his arm there, and he just roasted him about that. Yeah, we ended up going camping. It was quick story, but it was ended up camping on this beach, and for Hawaii, you think it'd be nice and cool, cold as fuck at night, and we were completely underprepared. Like, my mate didn't even have like a sleeping bag and nothing. He just had
what
jeans.
time of year? What?
I couldn't tell you, man. It would have been around earlier in the year, February or something. Yeah, February.
What's that season? Oh, it'd be just coming out of winter.
It could be, but I've heard Hawaii's pretty. It doesn't fluctuate
it's pretty
too much.
Stable.
Yeah. I think it was just because it was windy. My mate ended up pushing sand over the fire and just sleeping directly on the fire because he had nothing. Like, he had
laying on the coals. Wake up, cook.
Cooked himself. But and another mate. I ended up like, it was so cold. I ended up pulling all the clothes out of my sleeping bag. I had my backpack and stuffing it in my sleeping bag as insulation. It was. You
just
wouldn't
put them all on and walk around like the lads off Cool Runnings.
Now
they put like every single layer of clothing on, walking out of that airport. I don't know. What's the coldest you've ever been?
Mine would be that we were yarning about it on the podcast the other time. I reckon was that. Remember how I told you how we when I did that trekking and that night when we went over the pass.
Actually, I do.
When we went over that pass for that trek, I was carrying an empty backpack. I had all my clothes, and that was the wind. Again, it was once the wind because. When I was in Canada, I lived in Canada, like we experienced -20 in that, but this was, I think it's just so much higher. We were 5,500 meters or whatever.
I suppose if you're not prepared is one thing. Like, I'm guessing in Canada, you probably fucking
being
thermals and
that's the thing of being cold. It's shit when you're not. What's yours, you reckon? Being non-prepared for?
Non-prepared would probably be fucking when I went over to the UK with just carry-on luggage because it was summer. I'm thinking, I'll just fucking wear boardies and t-shirt everywhere. I won't need anything, and then went and stayed with some family in Wales, the first stop, and it was fucking
freezing.
Typical weather, like miserable, raining, like
no sun,
drizzling rain, just dark and cold as fuck. I had to borrow clothes off them. They gave me they gave me a jumper, and I had one pair of jeans, so I just wore them for fucking the whole week.
Milking it.
But underprepared, probably that. I can't really think
hard
of other times I've been real cold. I'd sort of everywhere I go, I'd plan it around warm times, I suppose. I've never been anywhere real cold.
I love the cold, man. I absolutely love it. I used to hate it. It used to be hard, like back when I was younger, working out west, like around at Cloncurry and that, out in the mines. Like, you wouldn't realise how cold it gets out there, bro.
It goes from one extreme to the other.
It does,
it's like
honestly.
hot as it'll be 40 degrees during the day, and then fucking get down
freezing at night, man.
Single digits.
And
actually, we used to go out to Hughenden every year for a rugby sevens tournament, and it was in like July or something. It was middle of the year. We did it for like 3 years, and going out there, it was only like one day. We'd go out, play one day, then come back the next day. Only spend like 2 days there, but fucking freezing cold, and then trying to warm up in the morning for the first game, like 7 o'clock in the morning or something, trying to fucking chuck a footy around.
That's what I found about in Canada. It's like the winters it's harder, hands down. It's a lot harder, but some of the aspects weren't harder because you'd wake up in the morning, like here in the winter or out there in the winter, you wake up, you don't even want to get out of bed. Yeah, it's cold as But over there, the houses are heated.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna.
You wake up, you're in your jocks or whatever, you walk to the shower, and here you don't even want to get out of the shower. Yeah. Over there, the house is heated, so you get out, you layer up, you prep for it, and then you leave the house.
Yeah, they're used to it being cold. Even like Melbourne and stuff, you go to the restaurants or go out.
Everything's
places,
heated.
Oh, there's there's heaters and stuff there. They're like set up for it.
Yeah.
You go to fucking Hughenden or
there's nothing
Cloncurry or something.
You got to wrap up.
Yeah, they're not fucking fully prepared for.
I love it. I love the cold. Yeah. Used to hate it when I was younger. I love it now.
Yeah, I don't really like. Still not a fan of the cold that much,
but. What's the hottest you've experienced? Reckon anyway. Probably out there too.
Hottest, probably Claremont. I remember going to Claremont one year for a festival. Actually, there was It was called Brigalow Beats. Boy and Bear played there.
Oh, yeah, man.
A couple of other artists. This was 2013, 14 maybe. It was going back a while. And I remember being in my mate's Hilux out there. And the thing on the temperature gauge on his little dash, it said 44 degrees or something like that.
Cook an egg on the road kind of heat.
But it was like, yeah, it was fucking hot.
That's rough.
Just drank.
I hate the
sunk heaps of fucking beers and went to this music festival just to
hydrate and dehydrate.
Yeah, just to cool down.
What the music? That's random.
Yeah, I know. I think it might have been the only time they ever done it, but it was a good little trip.
Fuck, I want to be up in Lahia, little island, when I worked up there up in Papua New Guinea. It was just the humidity.
Yeah.
Is what fucked me
I suppose,
it was insanely, like the humidity was.
Yeah, true.
Proper, and it was a shame job because it was first. I was doing we used to work up there in Reline Mills doing a shutdown. It was my first time doing a shutdown in ages because I've been traveling or whatever.
Yeah.
I went up there, and this is when I had dreadlocks. Actually, I had big dreadies. I grew out some dreadies when I was traveling and that. And I hopped on the sledgehammer. You have to knock in bolts. It's pretty hard, like pretty physically hard. Yeah. I hopped on the sledgehammer and I was knocking these bolts. Not used to it.
In the ass.
Yeah, and the local fellas, they seen and they're like, yeah, pull up, boss, have a break. And I was like, I kept on hopped on it. And then the next minute it was like I fainted, bro. Shame job, yeah. And they had to pull my heart out off and put water over me. They took my boots off.
See, should have listened.
ERT, yeah, I know. But it was proper shame. Then they had to take me back to the medical thing. And I actually thought about cutting my dreadies off when I was going up there because I brought scissors. That night I got back to my donger and just cut them off
too.
Yeah. And they were long, now down to my tailbone.
Yeah, that humid heat is different. Like going, like that recent trip to Thailand, go on a train, like you can be, it's hot here and you think training here in our little shed in the backyard and stuff's pretty hot.
Yep.
Then you go over there and it's just fucking next level.
Muggy as pure muggy.
I reckon like you do a half-hour session there is equivalent to 2 hours here.
Yeah, you
it's
reckon?
just so different.
You reckon like getting good in that
just
weather?
Hot and humid.
Well, they say that about like some of the UFC fighters that train in out of Denver.
Yeah.
Like they,
high altitude.
Mile high, and they reckon it's better for them. I wonder if that's like the equivalent here.
Well, a lot of people do go to Thailand now to train, some of them altitude places, Big Bear and stuff in America. It's always been a thing, so there has to be some logic to it, I suppose.
Yeah, like, true that.
If you get really good at training in immense humidity,
then you're better
in that altitude, then
you improve
in normal conditions.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna be fucking everything just seem easy, I suppose.
Yeah, especially like training in that mugginess. Yeah. Thailand is full on that monsoon season. Every about 4 or 5 o'clock every day, it starts pissing down. Good training over there, but I see so many fighters fight out over there.
Yeah, heaps. What's the one down south? Phuket,
Phuket, Tiger or whatever.
Phuket, I think, is where everyone goes and trains mostly. But yeah, it's massive now, and I'd say just because of that, because you get good, you base yourself there for a month or two.
Yep.
And plus, it's cheaper having a training camp there, I suppose, than trying to organise a training camp anywhere else.
So much cheaper. You just got to fly there. Plus, they have all the food and everything's pretty healthy. It looked like that Phuket now has just evolved into pure training, and like you can get smoothies and everything's super healthy there now. For it.
Yeah, no, it looks like a pretty mad setup. I'd like to go back and go to somewhere like that just to check it out.
Do Phuket,
But yeah, that fucking heat gets you.
I'd love to go back there. Be a long time before I do any of that.
Yeah. Oh well, that might do for
another one
this
down.
Episode.
Yeah, a bit of shit talk.
Thanks again, everyone, for listening. We got some exciting guests coming up soon, actually. So stay tuned.
Some legends, local legends.
Yeah, some local legends. Just some funny mates of ours as well.
Mix it up. So it's
we're
just talking shit the whole time.
Yeah, we're just trying to learn as we go and get better. Get better each episode.
Get better structures.
So,
just shit we just spin, eh?
Yeah, so if you're enjoying it now, hopefully we get better. And just stay tuned, I suppose, for everything upcoming. Go head over to the socials and like all them.
Like and subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe. But yeah, share it around, whatever you want to do. And we'll see you next time.